So every year since Sadie was born, her family has gone up into the mountains around Thanksgiving to get a Christmas tree, fresh cut from the hills. And since I joined the family, I have joined them on this tradition. But since we've been living in this little house that's about 600 square feet, we do not have very much room. Last year we found a spot for it, but I swear we keep collecting things and we've got about 100 plants in every corner at this point. And so I don't know where we're gonna fit it. We might need to get like a shrub or a branch or something. But yeah, we're gonna have to come up with a plan before we go. So let's go ask Sadie where the trees are gonna go, okay? Let's go, come on. Okay, ask her the question.
Where are we gonna put the trees?
The smallest jungle in the house is the medium jungle corner. Which one is it going to be this year?
Depends how big we're gonna go.
That's what we have to decide before we go.
I think here.
So I realized this week that we have now had this car for about 6 years and over 100,000 miles, and it has gone all over the place with us from, Idaho, obviously, to the West Coast, Midwest, and we've abused it quite a bit. And so I just want to share my thoughts on it now that we put over 100,000 miles on it ourselves. I bought it with about 25,000 and we're at 127,000 now. And so far it's been a pretty good car, but I'm going to give you my overall thoughts and then if we would buy another one if we were in the market today. I think Rue has some thoughts too. You looking for the Christmas tree already? We're not even in the woods yet. So first off, the reason I bought this car was because I had a truck at the time, a Tacoma, and it was getting like 14 miles per gallon or something because it was lifted, big tires and stuff like that. So there's really three main reasons why I switched it up to this. And the first was gas mileage. I was getting like 13 miles per gallon. This thing has averaged, it's saying right now, 25.5 miles per gallon, which is pretty good in comparison. Second reason was the all-wheel drive. Living in Idaho and with most of our hobbies being outdoors, especially in the winter with snow, I wanted something that got great traction, and the all-wheel drive system on these things is notorious for being really awesome, and I completely agree at this point. And then the third reason was the crash safety. I had just seen some wrecks that Subarus seem to fare extremely well given their size. The rule of lug nuts and the rule of, pounds seems to be a little bit out of whack when a Subaru is involved. Like they just do better than small cars typically do, it seems like. So those are the reasons. And as far as like how it drives, I think this thing drives better than maybe any other car that I've driven as far as the handling goes. It grabs the road really well. Like it seems like it's just easy to steer. And I don't know if that's because of the all-wheel drive system and just the geometry of how it's set up, but it's really easy to drive. Like it takes very little thought. You feel like it's solid on the road. The downside to the driving, I think, that I've noticed is the responsiveness. This is the 4-cylinder motor. It's pretty gutless. It does not shift quickly. So if you're shifting from park into reverse or drive or whatever, it takes like multiple seconds. If you slam the throttle down, it takes a few seconds to get up and go. And so it's not a sports car at all in that realm. But overall, the handling is really nice, and I definitely find myself preferring this over even my truck, or certainly like my old van and stuff like that, just because it's easy to drive and it's relatively quiet inside. So the handling, the overall daily driving experience, I think is actually really nice. So then kind of on that same note, when it comes to doing trips, like camping trips, road trips, things like that, when I first got this car, I was single, so it was just me. And I was doing a lot of different activities, a lot of different recreation that involved a lot of gear. And so between me and all of that gear, this thing was really a good size. Now, when it comes to traveling with two people and a dog and all of our gear for our hobbies, especially if we're going to do a long trip where we might be doing multiple hobbies, I think that's where its limitations start to be found. So overall, what I think we've found is that when it comes to trips where we're just packing light, like especially in the summer, if we're going on a trip just to hike or we're going on a trip just to bike or something like that, it's pretty easy to fit all the gear in here, still have room for Maru in the back and all of our stuff and just not feel cramped. But if it's like winter time, we're going on a ski trip and it's really cold, the bags start to pile up, the gear starts to pile up, and you know, especially if we still have a bike rack on, like if we want to bring bikes as well for whatever reason, it starts to be noticeably saggy and just feels like we should be in a bigger vehicle. So overall, like I couldn't imagine having 4 or 5 people in here, the number of seat belts that it has, and all of your gear. I don't think that would be optimal. I think it's kind of either or. But as far as adventure like is concerned, I think for 1 or 2 people plus gear for your, you know, whatever hobbies it is, and a pet, I think it's a great size for that. And I love creeks, rivers in the winter. Look at all these snow caps on the rocks. They're so pretty. This is like the first real snow outing that we are having together this year. Okay, so on the topic of reliability and maintenance. So I have primarily taken this thing into the dealership for routine maintenance just because it was under warranty up until 100,000 miles, and I just wanted to make sure that they couldn't try to pin anything on me if it went wrong. And so I just did it that way. I'd do some of the simple stuff, but overall, as far as repairs go, I really haven't had any major problems with it. I think the only thing that comes to mind that's even had to be replaced was the wheel bearing. Just one of them went bad at about, I think it was about 60,000 miles, and so it was still under warranty. They replaced it, and that's really all that comes to mind right now. The windshields are an ongoing problem. I think people know about that. They seem to just crack extremely easy. I think I've replaced this one twice, so this would be the 3rd windshield. Maintenance wise, everything's pretty much just as it normally is, with the exception of the spark plugs. Because the boxer style engine, they're like tucked down on the side, and so to replace the spark plugs is a little bit of a pain in the butt. But like I said, contrary to other people's experiences or opinions about these things, I've had very little problems, and so far, I know we're not that high mileage, but 125,000 miles in, and this thing still runs strong. A long list of rules for Christmas tree.
It's hunting season. Christmas tree hunting.
The only one that we're guaranteed success in. Has to be under 12 feet tall and not next to the road. So we gotta hike out a little ways. Rue, are you ready? You love the snow? Yeah, let's go.
Cutting, you have to get a sweet treat.
Oh dang.
No.
That must be the one that...
Yeah, that's at the bottom.
Okay. Get him, girl. Get him, girl. Where's that tree? Oh. Whoa. Crazy. Oh, nice catch. Okay. It's the first time I joined them on this Christmas tree cutting tradition. I brought a Sawzall and was quickly told that is not acceptable. You gotta do it by hand with a saw or an axe in order for it to be legit the Idaho way. Oh my gosh, she loves the snow. What do you think?
Not that one.
Ooh, that is a good one.
I know.
Is that too big?
It's too early though.
What do you mean?
Meander a little bit.
Oh. Gotta go further up the hill?
That one is.
I was thinking
pretty
more
nice.
that size.
That was what we had last year. We need a little bit bigger.
Don't forget the measurements. Has to be shorter than you and only half a wingspan. That one's raggedy. What about that one across the draw over there?
That one? That looks really tall.
Yeah, that one's too big. What about that one over there?
This one?
Yeah, up behind it, yeah.
I like that one. This one. Whoa, that side
That's
is
cute.
a little bit rough. But this
Well,
side,
that side could go into the corner.
this side's actually really nice for how small it is.
Okay.
This might be our tree.
It is.
2024 Christmas tree. Come help me. Come here. Come on. Come help me.
It's a monster.
Oh yeah.
3,
Yeah,
2,
yeah, timber.
1.
Timber.
There it is. 2024 wild caught Christmas tree.
Tag is full.
Tag is full. I think the reason they do this out here is to keep the undergrowth at bay so that there's not crowding and fighting for the sun, so that forest stays nice and healthy. I think that's what the biologists say, at least.
That's awesome.
We just want a nice Christmas tree and to keep a tradition alive. Here it is, our only tag we're actually gonna fill this year. It's ours now. Look at that. All right, trees in the car. Now, I got to thinking about the exterior of this car and figured I'd show you the things that have aged well and what hasn't. First glance, like the paint is actually pretty good. I have not been very diligent about waxing it regularly at all. Like, in fact, I never waxed it until this last year. But the paint's actually pretty good still, other than the few dings and dents that we put in it. And then the headlights, I mean, pretty normal. They're starting to fog, but this car is now, it's a 2016, so it's now what, 8 years old. Yeah, the plastics, all that type of stuff with a little armor all have kept up pretty well. I would say the thing that really has aged the worst is the seats on the inside. And I know this isn't an uncommon problem, but as you can see right there on the leather, there's just cloth because the leather's all broken away. And that started happening like only, you know, a year or two into having it. And so I've heard that's super common with these cars. I don't know about like the cloth or any other materials, but as far as how it's worn, I would say overall it's worn really well. There's very few problems with the exterior that we haven't caused. What do we have here? Homemade date peanut butter chocolate. It's like a peanut butter cup.
Snickers bar.
Oh, Snickers bar.
But with dates.
I'd say it's even better. Beautiful, but they taste wonderful. Come on. There you go. Good job. Good girl. Are you sad to leave? Well, for some reason, showing low tire pressure. I'm guessing it's just because of the cold. Because I think I read that for an ambient temp of 10-degree change, so if it drops 10 degrees, your tire pressures will drop by about 1 degree or 1 psi. And so when the swing between summer and winter is like, 80 degrees, sometimes the pressure will drop enough. So I'm gonna get this bad boy set to, I'm gonna go about 35. I can't remember what's exact, but let's. Boom. Brought it up to 33 psi, which is gonna be perfect for now. Don't get to go any further. Pretty sweet. This little thing has jumper cables too, so it's like the jump pack and an air compressor in one. And it has a light, or you can charge your phone. So many options. So overall, as far as performance goes, right now we're in like 6 inches of fresh snow, and it's kind of warm, and so it's that crappy mashed potato slimy stuff, and our tires are probably only about halfway, but this thing does so well. The all-wheel drive just like grabs and crawls out. It's like a cat, I swear. I don't know if there's another vehicle that can do better without a ton more horsepower and big tready tires. So yeah, and these tires, we've been running the Falcon Wild Peak tires on this thing. The last 2 sets have both been that, and then loved them so much we actually put them on both of our other trucks as well. So they're great tires. And overall, I would say that I would give this thing like probably an 8 out of 10 experience so far for its intended purpose. I think it's a terrible car if you're looking for something that's super sporty, but if you're just looking for like a utility type vehicle that can get you to wherever you want to go adventure wise, without impressing a single person, I think this is it. And for people who are considering these and they're worried about the whole impressing people, I'll have you know that our first date happened with this thing, and so it's obviously not enough to completely blow things apart. But yeah, and would I get one again? I think yes, probably. I'm not gonna lie, I've certainly looked at the RAV4s and or other options that have like a third row of seating or just a little bit more space inside. We've had this one about 6 years, and I would anticipate whatever we get next we'll have for, you know, another window of time that's similar whenever that comes, and that time will probably encompass having kids, which I don't know that this would be the best answer if we had, you know, more than one kid and we're still trying to do all the stuff that we're doing today as far as hauling gear and bikes and dog and all that stuff. So maybe we'd go for something like an Ascent. My mom actually has one of those, and we've liked it so far. But Sadie, what's one thing you like about this car, one thing you don't like about it, and would you get another one?
I love the easeability of the car. I love being able to just go out and adventure with this thing and be able to have the space most of the time to cover everything we need. And I love that I can drive to most of my weddings and know that this is a reliable vehicle. One thing that I don't like is when we are car camping and we're rock climbing and backpacking and have a cooler and a bunch of other stuff, and we end up having to kind of unpack and repack every time we stop for anything, especially with Maru too. It's just, that's another added complexity. And would I get another one? I don't know with space wise, but I would get another Subaru. I just think we might need something a little bit bigger maybe for our future plans. But all in all, I love this car. It's been a good little steed for me.
There you have it. And she's actually probably put about half the miles on it in the last couple of years, because she has weddings all over the place, up in the mountains, different states, everything. And so she's bombed this thing all over the place, and she kind of refuses to drive my truck. She thinks it's massive and is a pain in the butt to drive, which I guess shows you how enjoyable this one is, because she much prefers it. So yeah, 8 out of 10. Probably would buy another one if we were in the same phase that we were when we bought this, but looking forward, might go with something a little bit bigger. It is all its glory.